Hello, all, and happy May 2023. This is such an extraordinary month, and I am speaking to you today on Tuesday, Mars Day, and it is May 2nd. And so I'm just going to dive right in and speak into the bigger themes of the month. I'm going to start just by giving a little bit of an overview. And basically, this month is a time for us to really meet and learn to channel the energies of primal raw power into forward momentum for change. So we begin this month very dramatically with Pluto stationing direct. That happened yesterday on March 1st. And we felt that for a week already. And then the first week of May, which is already a very powerful time, we have Pluto it's just it's a slow moving planet. And so when it stations direct or retrograde, it's at its closest to the Earth, but you can really feel the energy of that. And of course, Pluto is already at 0 point Aquarius, 0 degrees Aquarius. So there's just this very deep kind of penetrating energy of Pluto holding the field at this very beginning degree of this kind of lightening, interesting because it's Pluto, degree of Pluto and Aquarius, that is holding the field of all possibilities, truly, of transformation and of change and of evolutionary growth. So, one of the areas I like to focus on and what I feel passionate about is I like to say that astrology belongs to everyone and it's alive. Astrology is alive. It's malleable, just like our world is right now. And at this turning of the ages, at this tipping point that we find ourselves in here in 2023, and I really do see this year as the tipping point, astrology belongs to everyone. And the new emergent wisdom and medicine of each of the signs of each of the planets is accessible to all of us. When we really get deeply tuned in, we inform the mysteries as much as they inform us. So we can ask, what is the most empowering vibration frequency of Pluto? What do we not even know about Pluto? How can we embrace the medicine of Pluto in a way that really serves humanity, that serves us on our individual path, that empowers us to take action towards our deepest dreams, our greatest callings? And so we know Pluto has to do with this raw primal power for the deepest transformation and change and evolutionary growth. We also know that when it's in an Aquarius, it offers the potential. We're just beginning to dip a toe into this time where the positive potential is for us to energize and bring alive completely new forms of community, is to energize and bring alive and transform um, all of our systems, because we are already building on the foundation of the deepest transformation of Capricorn. Now we're bringing in new paradigms of how we do community, how we do economics, how we do money, how we navigate in more of a way. The interesting thing with Aquarius is it's about waking up, it's about creating an egalitarian society, it's about liberation from old modes and old forms. So this is part of why we keep saying, you will hear people say we need to let, one way to say it is let the old you, the old, and we can feel it, right? The part of us that wants to keep turning towards the past, the part of us that wants to get caught in old dramas, we need to bless, give love to, and then allow to fall away like an old garment, that old me, because that old me cannot go through that portal into this new future. And then we need to allow ourselves to be pretty humble and kind of new and a little tender as we move forward into this new era and this new time together. I really love to hear from teachers like Lee Harris, who would say that whatever is not coming from a heart frequency, a heart coherence at this time, is simply not compatible with the world that we're moving into. I think I love the simplicity of that. I actually have been finding that it is more important than ever right now to truly to use all of our tools to calm and to lay down the mechanics of the mind that don't serve us. Um, and so instead, to really harness the mind to help us to dream into a new dream, to dream into a new reality. So, speaking into that, this week, again, the first week of May is such a portal. So, first of all, Pluto retrograde holding a field of all possibilities for this new emergent reality that Pluto at zero Aquarius presents for us. Then we also have Venus squaring Neptune this week. So the goddess herself, in her great heart wisdom, who also is activated at the throat chakra gate. So the throat chakra gate has as much to do with actually encountering and coming into contact with our deepest truth as it has to do with speaking or expressing that truth, right? So the goddess Venus is activating the throat chakra. She's in the sign of Gemini, which also has to do with telling a new story. It has to do with the ways that we ourselves can bring alive in the world around us more magic, more play, more fun, more beauty. It has to do with the movement we've been coming into Kairos time. So time that is sacred time, time that is not ruled by the old constructs, but the time that is perfectly orchestrated to support us in moving into a beautiful future that our future ancestors will thrive in and that we ourselves can thrive in. So also supporting us there is Mercury, which was at Cazimi, meaning that Mercury was in the very heart of great mystery of the sun yesterday, Monday, also Beltane, according to many traditional Beltane, Pluto stationing, Mercury at Cazimi on its throne in the heart of the sun, retrograde, right? There's all this magic. That's the opening into tremendous magic. It's nonlinear time. It's malleable time. So this is a time where we can actually choose the focus of our attention and our intention, and that's amplified. So there's a lot of energy. It can feel scary, but maybe that fear is actually excitement. This is one of those moments where we can really tune into that. What we feel might be anxiety or fear or, oh no, I don't know what it is excitement because there's so much raw potential for powerful, positive change. So moving further through into the week, we have the big event that everyone has been talking about, which is the second of the two eclipses. It's closing a 2-week eclipse portal that opened April 19th, 20th with the total or the hybrid eclipse at 29 Aries. So this Friday we have a lunar eclipse. And it's also a very special eclipse. It's a penumbral lunar eclipse. And so it's really a very in terms of the shadow that the umbra of the earth casts against the face of the moon in those areas to the south, that people will be seeing it. It's not a super dramatic eclipse, but the duration of the eclipse is 4 hours. So it's more of a subtle undercurrent that we get to tune into. And lunar eclipses, one way to see them is it's a super full moon because the sun, the earth, and the moon are all lined up very close to exactly perfect. And so there's like a lock and the key effect of everything being lined up for powerful, potent magic. Um, so we have that eclipse but it's a 4-hour time frame. So within those 4 hours, we have this kind of time accelerator portal. We have a time where it's like a full moon where we get to celebrate everything that's been coming into everything since the new moon, the total solar eclipse that we have been tending, everything that have been our desires, our dreams, that we have been courageous enough to continue to come back to, even with the turbulence and even with the interference that those moments, even if it's just moments, we come back to our hearts, we come back to, okay, this is what I want. This is what I'm celebrating. This is what feels real and beautiful for me. Even those little tiniest of seeds, that those now are coming into a flourishing. So the full moon is about that and simply a time for great gratitude and celebration. But even more so, what's very special about this eclipse on May 5th is that it is also it's lunar and solar beltane. So the sun is precisely positioned, our Earth and our sun. We are right at the midpoint between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. So this is the precise cross quarter. And it's also lunar beltane because the full moon and the sun are both opposite. So the moon is at the position that the sun is at, Samhain, in the opposite cross quarter season, and then the moon and the sun is at the solar position of Beltane. And so we have this very powerful Taurus, Scorpio, Beltane, Samhain medicine, this energy that we can work with. And if we know how to work with that energy and Mercury retrograde, which also it's a very yin energy, again, it takes us into nonlinear, malleable time, so that over these next few days that we rigorously move forward and anchor our intentions, our thinking, our presence to what we deeply desire to create. Now, if you, like a lot of us, feel a bit turned upside down, I'm not sure, what do I want? What do I want to create? I don't even know who I am anymore. You're you are not alone. This is the experience many, many, many of us are having, and it's not a bad thing. It's simply that for many of us and for us as a species, so much needs to be kind of shaken and turned upside down and rattled around because tremendous change is needed. So it's for us to trust that the changes that are happening are actually in our greater good. To work that way, to behave as if that's true, actually gives us tremendous empowerment, and it actually and it's like a superpower when we operate in that way to say, I believe that I am one with creation. I believe that I have incarnated for a purpose. I believe and I know, I in fact know deep in my bones that I am victorious already in my greatest dreams. And some of those dreams I'm aware of, and some of those dreams do come from the past, and some of those are coming alive every day faster and faster in a miraculous way. And some of these dreams are just beginning to emerge. And the way I'm tracking them is by paying attention to very small, humble things like moment to moment, day by day. When I have my gratitude list, or as I slow my body down and I come fully into the present, I see, feel, and know that this feels alive for me. This feels exciting, this possibility. Some of it is close by. For many of us, we are doing a dance of the immediate environment that we find ourselves in and our where we are in 3D space and time. And then we are also so we're tending to that to some degree, and we're all different like this, right? It has to do with where our future self wants us. Does our future self want us to stay pretty close to where we're at now? Well, then, there's going to be more and more of a deepening into this is where I am. This is what feels good. I'm going to orient myself to this. But even if there is this greater part of you that knows that it's for you to change your physical 3D pretty dramatically, it still is of great benefit to slow your system down, become more present and more in your heart so that you are naturally following a stream from where your body is now into the future. So, regardless, it's so important to be here, to be now, but do understand that when you're anchoring, when you are journaling or you're writing down or opening your field, opening to spirit to receive the promptings, the nudgings into your next right action, into what it is that you're wanting to create. Some of it, for example, might be very close by, close at home, and some of it might be far away. So, for example, in my dreaming, I'm seeing and feeling the places where it's for me to take action locally, to take some risks, to plant some seeds. And I'm learning to be more deeply present and tending to my close relationships here. And at the same time, I'm seeing and feeling that it's essential for me to reconnect to some of my global family and to Consider the individuals that when I think about working with them, it makes my heart sing. It makes me feel excited and even maybe a little scared because it feels so amazing. Look for that. What dreams, what possibilities feel good to your soul? It feels like it's in alignment with your deeper value system and also feels just almost too good to be true. Pay attention to those things and surround yourself with visionaries and dreamers. Surround yourself with people who are a little further along than you in cultivating their own dreams because we really need each other to inspire each other to move forward at this time. So, this eclipse is a very, very powerful time. It's going to be simultaneously, again, a deepening into what allowing to fall away and to release what no longer serves. And that's also because the eclipse is with the south node, so that has to do with the letting go, a surrendering, but also at the same time, it's really a time for um, the focus, in a sense, to also be on celebrating as if it is already real the what your greater dreams are, what you deeply desire. When I say what you deeply desire, it could also be about who you are becoming. For me, I'll say I deeply desire to more and more fully embody my unique signature of leadership. And when I say leadership, what I mean by that is that I'm fully expressed. I mean that I am modeling, the kind of me, the kind of human that is, resonant with the worlds I wanna live in. Now, I will say my deeper truth is that I believe actually that each one of us already has that divine blueprint, that beauty. So to me, in my reality, it's more about uncovering that initial original light and letting it shine. Even understanding that, yes, it's to cultivate and grow, but also it's a deep trust that who I am innately is good, who I am innately is here to shine, and that there's a big piece of creating my ideal life and stepping into my true calling that has to do with a deep remembrance of who I am. Um, so there's this way that we are moving. We're wanting to keep our energy strong, vital, grounded, and focus on what we deeply desire. And so that's the eclipse. We've also talked a little bit about Mercury retrograde. That station's direct May 14th. So that's Mother's Day. And we have Venus moving into Cancer this month, and then that's going to be kind of beginning this movement that's going to take us into even the summer solstice. We're a ways away, but where we have the sun move into Cancer, so Venus is already charging us ahead into that territory. And what has been coming to me more and more is that as we're finding our way forward, we're really doing this dance between sovereignty and, Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius, part of what that demands. Aquarius demands that we be authentic, that we be sovereign, that we fully be in the frequency of our unique signature. Um, and the truth is when we allow ourselves to be fully who we are, we will naturally come into right alignment with others and we will co-create with others who are in a harmonious resonance with us. This will just naturally happen. So that's also part of what we're being invited into is full sovereignty. There's also something I've been seeing and feeling, which is that for those who are in a position at this time of caring for others, caring for children, caring for elders, caring for those who may not be as physically strong, who may need support, it's so vital in this moment for us to care for the caregivers, for us to mother the mothers, and that includes us. So, for example, over the last couple of weeks, I've been recognizing a desire to reach out and to mend or tend to personal relationships with family members, with close friends, and also to reach out and spend time with little ones who are important in my life. My fairy godchild son, and another niece, for example, and then also to be a little more deeply connected into this immediate community with a baby that was just born, doing a little bit of support for that family with meals, house sitting. So supporting in the community, that's part of what's come alive for me. Now, I'll be honest and say I think I went a little overboard with that because I'm also needing, as we are, to focus on my own individual frequency. However, this is where it's also very important to acknowledge and honor ourselves when we do offer something of ourselves, when we do nurture or show up in ways that are loving, that are kind, that are generous. There's a way that it's important for us, even if we come to recognize we've gone a little too far in that direction and we've forgotten kind of our own basic needs. It's still, I think, vital to recognize and honor the part of us that wants to tend. This feels like an important theme. So we honor that part, and then again, we also allow to fall away any of that desire to tend or overgive that depletes us. So it's again, it's a bit of a both and, but we move towards those territories, those places where ultimately we do feel lit up, where ultimately we do feel nourished, where ultimately we feel at home. So this is the territory we're moving into. Now, one of the big events of this month is we have Jupiter moving into Taurus. That has not happened for 12 years. That happens on the 22nd. So actually, the maybe the 17th. I need to look at that again. So we have that's a big deal. Jupiter is going to be in Taurus for about a year. And so now we have the North Node and Jupiter and the Sun all in Taurus and Uranus. So this is and Mercury, all of this Taurus medicine. So the question then is, what is Taurus and what is the positive medicine of Taurus? How do we work with this? Um, the medicine of Taurus has to do with this the leading edge of our human experience right now, which is that we get to change the script. We get to shift and move into this new era. And again, this is suggested by Jupiter and North Node and Uranus and Taurus. We get to shift from a time that has been so focused on scarcity and where our motivation comes from pain and discomfort and more of the fight response or survival response. We get to shift from that into more of an age where we actively move towards what feels good, what gives pleasure, what supports us in creating a society where everyone's needs are met. And we do begin first with ourselves, with slowing down our systems, with co-regulating with Mother Earth, allowing ourselves to be really deeply resourced in our bodies and our systems. And so that then when we take action, we move forward, we're overflowing. And Taurus truly, in my mind, has the medicine of embodied prayer, where when we are truly working with the medicine of Taurus, and again, this is the leading edge for us through this month and really through the next year, that continue and more continues to be. We are so awake to the beauty of being incarnate, being in a body, getting to experience this physical material world, the scent of a flower, the touch of our lover's hand. We learn to receive life. We learn to open to life and to expect good things. So this is the medicine of Taurus. It's a beautiful thing. I invite you to drop into that. You will also find that a big theme this month is money. So I would encourage everyone that, yes, take a bit of your attention, maybe a homeopathic dose, to acknowledge there is a tremendous amount of change. And so possibly also definitely some fear in the fields. So take note, it's there. You don't need to be in denial about that. Recognize that's also a source of energy, very alive energy. Fear is also energy we can use and recognize that that's change. People are afraid of change. And the reality is that this month offers us an opportunity when we get still, when we drop in, and we also, again, allow ourselves to drop any beliefs of unworthiness. When we allow ourselves to open our field to say, I am willing to receive abundance in all its forms. I am willing to receive financial prosperity. And as we do, we also are very aware that as we open our systems to receive that prosperity, it's there's a beautiful saying that I receive the prosperity and the financial abundance that supports me in expressing and fully giving myself to life or fully expressing my soul purpose. A lot of people, I think, get stuck because it's like the end game is make a bunch of money, and really, we don't none of us really actually care about that. Let's be real. We don't really care about that because money doesn't even really exist, and it's an agreement we made with each other. Um, at the same time, we also, um, it is for us to have all the resources that we need to fully offer our gifts into the world, to develop who we are, to feel free so that we are free of the survival orientation. And instead, we can just pour ourselves into life and create, make beauty, um, co-create with each other, celebrate the beauty of the world where we live, and really nurture and tend to our relationships and to the earth. That's what Taurus opens the space for us to do. So there is also, I will complete by saying that the one of the biggest events this month as well is that we have Mars moving into Leo very, very soon after Jupiter moves into Taurus. And then we have a T square that's forming through the course of the month, and especially by the end of the month. But from the middle to the end of the month, we have this T square between Pluto, Mars, and I'm sorry, Mars, Jupiter, and Pluto. So there's a T square that's happening there. That's a very powerful energy. When you have a square, it actually can feel like if we work with it in a good way, it can propel us forward in a very strong, very energized, very alive kind of way. It can propel our dreams forward. So by the time that's happening, we've come out of Mercury retrograde in Taurus. By the time that's happening, we've this Venus square Neptune activation is complete. So we've had the eclipse portal that has completed. So the first half of the month, it's really for us to drop down deep and come in home to our bodies and focus with great deliberations and deliberation, presence, and ground on our dreams. What is my deeper dream? What is my calling? And let that again be anchored in what's happening right around you and your 3D reality right now. Really tune into that and let it be. Let your deeper dreaming and calling know that you're worthy for this dream and this calling to be something where you offer yourself to the world around you, that you're capable of bringing great beauty into this world around you in a way that only you can. And so let your deeper dreams come alive for you. Take time for yourself. Take time to tune into your intuitive vision and to meditate and to get slow and to work in your garden or take long walks and really drop into what is this dream that's calling you? What is this life? What is the new you that wants to emerge? What wants to emerge for you? So we have this time where when we can get still and slow down our systems and come home to ourselves, we can be accessing this greater positive, beautiful, joyful, pleasure-filled receiving of the resource and of all that we need to bring ourselves into life fully. And then by the later part of the month, we've got just it's green light. It's all go all it's just full speed ahead and a tremendous amount of energy. So when you feel fear, when you feel tension, understand that's raw energy that wants to be used. If you feel confusion, I don't know, then again, ground yourself and begin to really practice when you have fears, name them, write them, speak them, and then very deliberately question those fears. See them clearly for what they are, question them, and then actively pivot them. Turn them around into something that's empowering for you. Work with affirmations and words, work with the throat. And then by the 23rd of the month, it shifts to the brow chakra. Venus is activated by the moon at the brow chakra. So again, there's this continued theme. Tune into your inner knowing, tune into your intuition, come home to your own core and center. oh, just use all of the tools that you can to be fully present. Because when you are coherent and when you're coming from your heart and presence and the love that is at the core of you, you will be the center of gravity in your world. This is what I mean by leadership. That's you stepping into leadership, servant leadership, co-creative leadership, where you invite others as well to to open into that. So that feels complete. I offer so much love for all of you listening and so much support for this coming month. May you drop in and receive with such clarity and such potency the the visions, the stirrings, the promptings, the very vivid partnerships or creations or projects that you are so excited to bring alive in these coming months, in these coming years. May you really drop in and feel, really let the earth dream through you. Let the earth dream through you. Let the earth help you to call forward what these dreams are that you've incarnated to embody. And let the future ancestors, those who come after, those beloved ones, let them also call you, invite them into your prayers and your meditations. Show me what action I can take today. Show me how I can best focus my thoughts so that I can help create a world where you thrive, where the earth herself is thriving, where all of our more than human world is thriving, and humans are in co-creative harmony with the larger earth. So with that, that feels complete. Sending so much love to all of you. This is, please do, if you enjoy this, subscribe, share, and post a comment. And sending so much love to you. This is Tami Brunk, Earth Sky Woman, and happy May, and have a beautiful month.